What's up guys, Max here, madazmoney.com, and I know, I've been away from YouTube for quite some time, but you just know, I wasn't freaking leaving.
I'm not fucking leaving!
Now not only am I back, but I'm back with a vengeance. Back to back, baby. Back to back, single day, personal best, breaking that record, that elfin epic day from 2017, $75,000. That record has now fallen yesterday, breaking that record, $83,600 in just one day, trading mainly ticker symbol CHK, a stock that ran from $30 to about $70, hitting $80 after hours. Unbelievable short squeeze opportunity, and I took full advantage of that on both sides of the trade. We're going to show that live trading video in this video. And today we had Imrn, 1000% runner, crazy, unbelievable short squeeze again, back to back, taking full advantage of that as well, of course, and breaking the personal best, that record that only lasted apparently just for one day, $83,700. Only breaking it by $100, but you know what? I'll take it, you know, because that's $167,000 in total profits in just 2 days, guys. Just digest that for a second. $167,000 in just 2 days. I mean, seriously, that's an entire manager's salary at a mid-level company, right? That's like a lot of money in just 2 days. You know, I used to make $50,000 a year as an engineer. That's a whole year. So just to digest how much money that is and what the market can do to you and what the opportunities are like right now, guys. Everyone's at home. They're throwing every single dollar they can at the stock market. You know, their aunt, their uncle, their mom and dad, cousin, everyone's just throwing all their stimulus checks at the stock market. And as a result, we got volatility, we got liquidity, we got price action, we got everything, all the ingredients for a lot of epicness in the market right now, guys. So in this live trading video, we're going to show you guys the trades from CHK. We're going to talk about the Halt Resume Panic Pop short. You guys have seen the Halt Resume Washout Long in the past. We're going to show you guys an example of a Halt Resume Panic Pop short. So that's the first. So you guys are going to be in for a treat with that example right there. And of course, we're also going to show you guys Halt Resume Washout Longs. We're also going to talk about today's trades as well. I didn't record them, unfortunately. We're just going to go ahead and talk about them anyways because they're just so freaking epic. $83,000 on Tuesday and today as well. I mean, I don't know, I'm at a loss for words. So, like I said in the previous video, shorts get screwed. Big bang for Madaz. Cue the music. Yo, what's going on, guys? This is Max Madaz here at madazmoney.com, and this is a little bit of a different setup for me. I'm actually using my standing desk, so I'm actually standing here. That's why you don't see a chair behind me. But it's really good to be back making videos for you guys again. We're going to talk about some of the epic action from today first. Like I said, unfortunately, I did not record the live trades from today. But I still want to talk about the action anyways, just because it was just so crazy. Imrn, this is the chart that I have up. You see my executions here as well. I can actually show you my P&L here. So you can see that today you add these numbers up. There's usually is like a total here. I don't know why it's not showing, but you add these numbers up, you'll see that I made $83,700 today, and that's actually a personal best, new record, single day personal best, $83,700, including $117,000 scalping just alongside of Imrn, which is also a personal record. So personal records being broken left and right, guys. It's definitely a market for that. Lots of opportunities, and let's go ahead and go right to it. And we'll see Imrn. This is the chart that I have up, 3-minute chart. You guys know me, I like 3-minute charts. At the open, you can kind of see that, you know, it took off right here around just before the bell, about 15 minutes for the bell, going from $3 all the way up to $12, $13. And you can see that this stock, it looks like, a big move overall, but if you look at the numbers really closely, you'll see that this thing went from 3 to 13, faded all the way out to 6, which, by the way, that's a 50% pullback. So it was a great short at the open. I was actually shorting this, and I was up $26,000 shorting this move, and then the squeeze was on. The squeeze was on. I was short into this, and I got stuck. I got stuck and got squeezed out. And took a loss on this. I was up 26,000, and then I ended up being down 40,000 when it's all said and done, covering into this high day breakout. And it wasn't pretty going from being up 26,000 to being down 40,000. That means I lost $66,000 on the short side. But obviously you gotta keep calm, carry on. There's always opportunities, as you can see. Imrn, if you're gonna walk away defeated, down in the dumps, I was telling my guys in the Madaz money community, if you're going to be that guy that's just so, out of it, that you took a big loss and you can't, regather yourself, and compose yourself, put yourself together and take advantage of the opportunities that are still present after you take the loss, then you're going to be missing out on not only the opportunity to make it back, but the opportunity to make it back and then some, which is exactly what happened here. I flipped to a long bias after the high of day breakout. That means every single short here is now underwater. There should be enough fuel for the fire. You see the volume picking up there as well. So at this point, shorts are in trouble. They're bent. All the shorts from the morning up to about 11:30 there, and you started going long, man. Started going long. You see me buying the dips there and washout long style, just nibbling away. And as you saw, guys, I ended up finishing up $83,700, just going basically, short in the morning, and then, getting squeezed out, taking a big hit, and, just staying calm, man, staying calm, being confident and understanding the setups were there to make it back. You see the huge move here after IMRN broke out at 13, it hit 19, pulled back to 13, and then, wow, in the afternoon hitting almost $28. So, amazing opportunities out there, guys. Washout longs all day long, and it's been incredible. I mean, $117,000 scalping the longs here, and I mean, the liquidity is there, the action's there, and I just can't stress how crazy this action is, and how much opportunity there is, and how much money you can actually make in the current market. So that's IMRN today. Hopefully it it did fade in after hours back down to 15, but hopefully at least tomorrow it pops back up for a short opportunity, or at least something like that. Maybe it rips and traps some more shorts and goes back to highs, but we'll have to see. It's definitely $15 off of the high of day, so it's got some overhead resistance, admittedly. So we'll see tomorrow if it can get over that 28 level and squeeze a little bit more. We saw stock CHK, which we're going to talk about in the live trading video, that ran all the way to $77, $80. We saw stock at NKLA, which is a thicker float, and it still ran to $90. So, anything's possible, man. Anything's possible. We'll have to see tomorrow. So we're going to go ahead and talk about the live trading footage now from the day before today, where I made $83,600. We're going to talk about the Halt Resume Panic Pop short. And let's go ahead and hop right to it. All right, guys. So this is the day before today. So yesterday, of course. So that's June 8th, 2020. And you'll see this is CHK. CHK, I have a 15-minute, 5-minute, and a 3-minute chart up just so I can see different time frames. And you see that CHK now is currently halted. It's already made a move from the 30s up to $67. It's currently halted. I mentioned in chat and also on Twitter multiple times that $80 was a resistance level to keep an eye on. $80 was a resistance level from the daily. So just go ahead and pull it up and see for yourself. $80 was a resistance level on the daily. And I was looking to see if maybe it might top out there and look for a possible short. I know this is front side. I know it's a little bit scary, but at a critical resistance level in a stock that's gone parabolic, there is a massive opportunity, especially if it opens kind of weak on the resumption, and then it starts to get some downward momentum, and it might go straight to a downside halt and potentially a big gap down. So that's what we're looking for here on CHK. We'll play it right here, and you see right now I'm not in any positions. CHK again right now halted at 67.2, and let's see what happens here. All right, so here we go. CHK is about to resume. It's going to gap up straight to 67, 68, 70, 73. You see that it's going to halt again, 73. It's getting close to that 78 level, okay? So now it's halted again. I'm going to fast forward through this. Okay, so right now it's halted for another 5 minutes. These halts are usually 5 minutes. So let's see what happens here. On the resumption, again, the stock's now currently halted. CHK at 73.4. So let's see what we got here on the resumption. It's going to resume here in a couple seconds. Again, we're approaching that 80 level. We're watching 80. See, now the stock, you see that? It ripped and hit a high of 77.5 for a split second, and you got some downward momentum. I get in short there at 73.4. And those of you guys, again, you guys are looking at this. This is the level 2. You guys are new to my videos. This is what I'm looking at 90% of the time when I'm trading. I'm looking at the bids and the offers. That was a little bit quick, so we're gonna watch that again. Watch that again. That was a little bit quick, so let's watch that again. Let's slow it down for you guys, okay? Slow it down. There we go. See, you see how it opened up? It went up, but only by marginally higher. Okay, it halted at 73, and it opened at what, 75, and it hit 77. You can't even see the 77 print, and you immediately got the downside momentum. Bids drop into 74. That's not what we saw on the previous halts, and we're gonna see what happens here. Look at that, more downside momentum. Bids are getting whacked out. 73.5 now on the bid. And you see that the bids are even dropping even more. You got the downside halt right here at 73.22. More. So you got bid right there. It's about trying to save, but look, got whacked out. 73.22. I'm in short now at 73.4. And there you go. Straight to a downside halt. You see all the bids, the ass stacking there, all these shorts trying to get in desperately, and now it's halted. So I'm in 2,500 shares here at 73.4 average there on CHK short. Again, playing off that 80 resistance level, a weak gap up and resumption, and we just saw some downside momentum right out of the halt. That's not what we saw on the way up on this stock. The stock always just showed a lot of strength, but for the first time, it was showing a lot of weakness. So right at a big resistance level after a big move, it's worth taking a stab at it. So 2,500 shares short here on CHK at 73.4. Now, I want to take a moment to talk about this setup in general, okay? So when you got a major squeeze like this, you got a couple of setups here. You got the major squeeze, right? The big squeeze, and then the top gets put in, and you got the big drop, okay? You got the big drop, which is what we're doing now, with the phase of the chart that we're in now. And then we're going to get a big drop, and it's going to bottom out somewhere, and then we're going to get the first big bounce after the big drop, and then you're going to get the first short after that first bounce. So those are the best trades, and I'm going to demonstrate them in this live trading video, all of them. So we're going to do the big drop, and then after that, we're going to do the bounce after the big drop, and then we're going to do the short of where the bounce stops. Okay, so basically you're looking at a big move up, big move down. It bounces a little bit. The bounce is not going to be as big as the squeeze, obviously. A little bit of a bounce, and then a bit of a pullback. So those are the big trades that I'm looking at, and I'm going to call this basically, it's the bouncing ball effect, right? You bounce a ball, the first bounce is going to be a big bounce, and then the next bounce is going to be a little bit weaker, and a little bit weaker, and a little bit weaker, and basically the stock eventually finds parity, it finds equilibrium, and it kind of just levels out at some point, right, before it decides to make another move. So that's what we're looking at right now on CHK. We're looking at the big drop right now after that first big squeeze. Okay, so we're going to fast forward this and show you guys basically what happens here on the resumption. There's going to be multiple halts, and you'll see that every single time it just halts, it gaps down. It gaps down because, shorts are desperately trying to get in. Longs that are in, they're desperately hitting the sell button. And you see here's the resumption. So now it's straight down to 66. So I'm already up $17,000 on this trade, and I've barely technically been in this trade for only, you know, like a second if you don't count the actual halt times. But I'm already up huge. I basically top tick this short. So downside halt, I'm going to hold into it, right? I'm going to hold into it because there's more downward momentum. Sellers are stepping in. They're freaking out. They're like, shoot, I got to get out before this thing drops to God knows what. Shorts are desperate to get in because they want in on the action. They want to make some money. And right now, you know, I'm looking good, man. I'm in the driver's seat. Okay, so we're still looking at check here, short CHK. And we'll see what happens here on the next resumption. And we'll see. There we go. Boom. Straight to freaking 59. I mean, how crazy is that, you know? I actually covered into that. We'll pull it back a little bit so you guys can actually see the cover. Okay, so again, remember, I'm in 73.4. You know, what's funny is that it actually resumed off 5 minutes. They're usually supposed to resume at exactly 5 minutes, right? 12, 19, 25. As I remember this halt resume, it was not on time. Sometimes it does that. I don't understand why, but sometimes it does. So you see now it's resuming, you know, a little bit late there. But you see that now I'm realized up $33,000. You see my position there. And I'm out, all out of it. You see now I'm up, realized $48,000 on the short of CHK, meaning I made about $34,000 on that short. So amazing trade there, covering into this wash. Now I could have held on to this, but I wanted to prepare myself for the long. I'm looking basically for a long around this $50 area. You see this is support there. It's also pre-market highs, major support. So I'm looking for a long, you know, between this area. The stock's free fall from 77 down to 59 now. It's probably going to open up a little bit lower, but I'm looking for a bounce here around this 50 area, and we're going to go for a long. So again, we were talking about the squeeze phase, the dump, and after the dump bottoms out, we get the first big bounce, and then we get the first short after the bounce, and then, you know, after that, it kind of just levels off a little bit. The volume kind of fizzles out, things start going sideways. So we're going to look at the next resumption. Now, I'm not in any positions now on CHK. Not in any positions right now. So we'll see the next resumption and what happens there. All right, so we got 54. So I tried to take a long there. As you see, the stock is attempting to bottom out there at 54. I'm going to slow it down for you guys. So I get filled 55.95, 2,500 share starter. I got a lot of bullets to add. So we'll see here. Again, I'm looking at that 50 support level. So I'm willing to add down to that 49.50 area. And again, guys, I'm up $48,000 on a day. Got a big cushion. I'm scaling in here. I'm willing to add a 50. Taking a star there, 55.9. Yeah, an add there at 56. Now I'm up on the trade. You see there, I was up briefly about $9,000. You see a little bit of weakness there on the level 2. You know, it's kind of sluggish, suggesting that there's somebody probably, you know, selling into this bounce. But right now, you know, I'm still up on the trade. It's got room to add in case it goes down to 50. No problem. There we go. Halt levels at 59.03. And you can see now it's pushing up a little bit. It's a little bit of a struggle, you know. It's trying to push towards 60. That's what I'm looking for. I'm looking for a bounce back towards 60, 65. That would be a great bounce play. It's not really bouncing with a lot of conviction. You can kind of see that, you know, it's just dancing around in a tight range, which is not what you want to see after a big drop. A stock that's dropped that much should bounce a lot with a lot more conviction. I'm still in 890 shares. It's about to halt here at 59.62. It tried to. I took off half because I didn't like that the bids dropped off there, so I sold half there at 59.6 or 59s. So I locked in some profits there. Now I'm up $54,000 on the day. Now I'm only holding half. And I'm going to let it halt, hoping that it'll probably gap up, make a beeline toward that 65 area, and then I'd be able to sell the rest. 1,900 shares, not too many shares, should be able to do it. So you guys can see, that's the play here. It wasn't the cleanest bounce play. It was not the cleanest bounce play. But, you know, a big drop there down to that 54 area. You know, I was looking for 50s to go in with some size, left some room to add in case I went to 50. Got my starter position there around 56. Sold into that 59 bounce. Really wanted it to open up and bounce with a lot more conviction, like I said, but you know, a little bit weak on the tape there, a little bit heavy. Didn't like that. So as a result, I ended up selling half there just to be safe. Always add back just in case it goes lower. So we're gonna fast forward through this and show you guys the resumption here. There we go. So it resumed. Slow it down again. So it resumed here around the $60 mark. I'm up $8,000 on this. It attempts to make a push, but it's still kind of weak, right? You can see there's no bids kind of jumping in. It's pushing a little bit here. Let's see if they kind of hang on there. Didn't get filled there. I actually end up missing the fill here. But this should have been the sell. So I screwed up here, guys. I missed the fill. You see there, I put an order in 61. Too slow. But basically what happened here was I tried to sell using another route, and the route kind of crapped up on me, and I started like fumbling orders. So I ended up, you know, not getting good fill on the rest of these shares. I had to dump it here at 57.89 for pretty much marginal profits, about like $3,000 or whatever it was. But overall, the whole idea was to sell at 60, 61. That was just a mistake on my part and a routing issue. But yeah, I had to sell it just because it looked like it was going to downside halt, which it will. This is not the kind of bounce that you want to see off of a drop from 77 down to 54, 55. So that's an example of when you kind of spot that the bounce isn't doing what you want it to do. So you know, when a trade doesn't, you know, play out the way you want it to, and you're no longer comfortable in that position, there's no reason to be in that position, right? So that's when you should just get rid of it. And that's what I did. So I got rid of it, locked in some profits. Now I'm up $57,000 on a day. Pretty sick day. So I'm going to go ahead and watch the next resumption. Now I'm not in any positions again. So again, I'm looking for a bounce. I'm still looking for that bounce at 50. I do believe that it's going to bounce at 50. I mean, all this volume traded. I do believe that there's going to be some sort of bounce. Shorts are still stuck. They're going to need a cover, and they're going to trigger the bounce. Okay, so right there is a resumption. Now we're looking at 54. And now it's straight down to a downside halt at 53. I'm going to let it downside halt. And I'm going to look to buy the next halt resume, because it's probably going to open up around $50 where I want it, right? Weakness. Sellers are probably like piling on. They're like, oh, shoot, where is it going to go? It's going to tank. So at this point, I'm probably going to look for the move toward 50 and try to go long there. All right, so there it goes. So I tried to get in there at 51 on this resumption. It was a no-go. Had to chase it there, 52.5. And I got only 1,215 shares at 52.5. So 52.5 was my entry there. 1,215 shares, not much. But, you know, you see how it bounced off of 50 there. It bounced exactly where I expected it to bounce, 50. This support line right there is this resistance acting as support, plus the start of this move as well. So that's where 50 comes from, and also that's a pretty big drop off, 77. So I'm in here, didn't get a full position, but still 1,215 shares. Can still make some money off of it, a couple $1,000. So we'll see. How this resumes here at stocks currently halted at 52.5. Again, I'm in at 52.5. I had to chase that halt a little bit, which I don't usually do, but I do have high conviction on a bounce here off of 50. So let's see what happens here on the resumption. Let's see here. Should resume in a couple seconds. Here we go, here we go, here we go, here we go. There's a resumption. So opens actually lower. So that's a little bit of a surprise. You know, I expected it to open up. Let's see what it does here. Didn't get filled. Actually, I was too slow. Didn't even put in an order. But let's see what it does here. 51s. 51s. Popping up here. 50s. Still a chance to get in here at 50. Kind of hesitated there, though. I think I maybe had a feeling it might have dumped or something like that, but it's popping up here. 52, 52s, 51s, 51s by 52s. I'm looking for a bounce still. You see, overall, this stock is not really bouncing with a lot of conviction. That's probably why I didn't add. It kind of did that same thing up there on that bounce towards 60. You see that it's almost going to downside halt. But yeah, it's looking kind of scary, right? So that's probably why I didn't add it. But it ends up bouncing eventually, but not before a lot of weakness. Now, mind you guys, CHK, the backstory with CHK, this is technically a bankrupt stock. So, you know, when you're trading bankrupt stocks, you know, you got to have like a big caveat when you're doing stuff like that, right? I mean, there's my ad there, 50, when it looks like it's probably going to bounce off of 50 finally. So I got my shares there at 50. But, you know, the huge caveat is obviously this is a bankrupt stock, right? So this stock is, you know, eventually tanked today. So you always got to keep that in the back of your mind that when you're trading a bankrupt stock, you might get stuck in something that's not a favorable situation, right? Like a halt or a huge downside move due to news or something. So you always got to be mindful of that. But I'm in 2,430 shares there at 51.24, looking for a bounce off of 50. Let's see, we get that bounce. It's kind of just dance around 50 here. So the longer it dances around 50, the more I'm thinking maybe the shorts are going to get caught and we're getting a little bit of a squeeze, right? So now we're showing 53 on the ass, which is a lot better. And we're looking for an upside halt. I did sell half there at 53 just to be safe, locking in another $3,000 off of $60,000 on a day. Now I'm only holding 1,100 shares for the big move on the rest. So you know, end up selling a little bit there just to not you know, minimize the risk there a little bit. And gonna hold the rest. 1,000 shares. That's a pretty safe hold, even if it dumps back to 40 something. Only a couple $1,000 loss. Not a big deal when you're up $60,000 on a day. So CHK right now still holding. See, we get that big move to the upside, and let's see what it does. All right, 54s. And I think I did end up selling it. So end up selling it there, 54. Big move there. Basically 48 to 54, 55 now. So I did sell it, another $3,000. So I made $6,000 on that trade. Maybe I could have held. Probably was just too sketched out there. This stock just wasn't bouncing with enough conviction. Like I said, that was probably the takeaway from this. It's still kind of like just, you see there's a big offer there. And now it's back to 54. So it's kind of sketchy, man. That's kind of sketchy. That's why I end up selling it there. No problems. When you're not comfortable, you know, why not, right? So it did end up bouncing eventually. But it's just too much of this going on here. Too much back and forth instead of just straight up, right? That's what you want to see on a bounce play. You want to see like straight up type action. So right now we're at 56. It's eventually going to bounce up to like, let's see where it bounces to, 57. It's going to halt. And it's going to bounce up to 58. You see me take a short there at 59. Take a short there at 59. Let's see what I do here, 59s on the resumption. So now I'm looking for a short. Remember I was talking about earlier, guys, the big rip the big dump, the first bounce, and then after the bounce, you get the short back down. So we're going to look for the short. We'll see what it does here. Short. Short there at 59. So 59s are up, 60s, 60s. Only 1,250 shares, nothing crazy. Basically dancing around my break even. I'm up a little bit. But this is the last trade I'm going to show on this footage. But you can see that right now the stock's bouncing at 60. I'm leaving some room just in case it goes up to that 65. There's an intraday gap fill there at 66. So we're going to keep an eye on that. You know, I am down $4,000 on this position, but it's only 1,250 shares. So you can see, you know, a little bit less conviction there to go in with 1,250 shares as opposed to 2,500 shares earlier on that bounce. But we'll see here on this resumption what it does. So again, we're looking at possibly a gap fill there around 66. 66 is a possibility. Let's see there. Let's see what happens here. There we go. Resumption. I did get the add there around 64, 63, 64. Now it's trying to halt to the downside. You see what happens here. It's still defending 60, so that's kind of interesting to see. See the bids there creeping up there, 60, 61. 60s, see if 60s fall. So I'm kind of a little bit sketched out that they're defending the 60, 61 area. So that's kind of weird to see. But no, I'm still holding on. 61.10 average, not down that much. It's dancing around my break even. Got one bullet to add there around that 66 gap fill area. Gonna see if there's any sign of weakness. Overall, you know, this is a pretty choppy stock, man. This is a pretty choppy stock. You know, we did get the moves that we wanted, but it wasn't the cleanest like some of the other videos we've seen in the past. But there we go. You know, flushing now. I'm up on the trade. It took a while. It's still kind of hanging around, though. Still kind of hanging around. I'm still in the 2,500 shares. It's kind of not what I want to see. But right now, 61s. Let's see if they still support 61s. Now we're at 61 still. It's still really tight. Watch that 60 bid. 60 bid there. And we'll see if we get the flush eventually. It's going to take a while. This trade, I remember, this trade took a while. I am kind of worried that it might rip a little bit further, but that 66 area is an area that I'm kind of expecting it to hit. In case it does, I have a chance to add it there. Again, guys, I'm down only about $2,000 on the trade. I'm up 63,000, so you know it's all relative in the end. Speed things up a little bit here. Let's see, we get a bigger push. So you see 63.5, 64. You know, I am down about $8,000 at one point. And 65s are up, 66 there. Again, that level to watch. I did get an add there. Now 61.74 my average. You see now it's getting a little bit of a weak rejection there off of that 65. 65 is a pretty nice whole number. So 65 also pretty close to that 66 area, that gap fill. So right now, let's see, we get that reject. And it looks like it might fall here. We got a 61 bid. 61 bid there. See if that gets whacked out. 62 still hanging around. I'm still not down that much. Okay, so again, it's not a big deal for me. I am still up $63,000 on a day. I just don't like how it's trading. I'll be honest. I don't like how it's trading. But overall, I'm not really down a significant amount. Eventually, the idea is you want to see if those 60 bids fall. And, you know, you want to see if it reclaims that 66. If it reclaims 66, I'm probably going to stop out, start peeling off some, because that means it's probably going to go back towards $70, $73. And I obviously don't want to be holding 3,700 shares when the stock goes to $70 and $73. So we're still holding on to this for now as it's dancing around the 61, 63 area. And we'll see what it does. And right now, we got a big offer there, a couple big sellers there at 64. It's still chopping around a little bit. I'm going to speed things up a little bit. But we'll see here. 62s, 63, and 63, 62 there on the bid. 62, 62 there on the bid. Still holding 62s, it looks like. But again, I'm not down that much. That's the key thing here. No need to freak out. You see the flush, 61s. There's a flush there at 60. Let's see if 60s hold. 60 was supported earlier. It's still taking its sweet time. It's still taking its sweet time, but I'm still holding on. 63. 61 rather, 61. They're still on the bid. There's still some bidders there at 61, man. There's still some bidders there at 61, 61, 61.5, 61.5, 62, 61. There's a big bidder there at 61. Let's see if that holds up there. 61's got whacked out. Still refreshing 61s. There's a lot of people trying to buy 61s, but the stock's not pushing higher. That's the key. You know, when there's a bidder there, the stock's not pushing higher, then there's no reason to freak out. It's still just stuck here in this range. It could end up very well bouncing here, but I'm still going to hold on because there's not even any sort of big reaction yet to these buyers. So we'll see still if these 61 bidders hold firm. And if it does, I'll stop out. No problem. You know, I'm still, again, break even on the trade, so it's no big deal. 61 still. Let's see if we get that mega flush. Still looking for that mega flush. 61's gone. 60.5 gone. 60.2 now in the bid. It's dropping. 60.2, 60 now we're looking at 50.5. So now I'm up on the trade. It's dropping. 59's on the bid. 58. There we go. Now I'm in the money. I'm looking to cover. You see that? 58, 58.8 covered half there. And holding the rest for a bigger move down toward 56. Trying to cover some more here at 58. Let's see if I get it. Don't get it. Only got 1,500 shares left. Only got 1,500 shares left. I'm already up $69,000 on the day. Almost $70,000 on the day, guys. Great trade. Again, just showing you guys that there's no reason to stop out. You know, even though the bidders were showing up, refreshing that 61 area, there was no reason to stop out. And that was it, guys. That was it. That was the last trade. I don't know if you saw it. That was a little bit too quick, but let's see there again. Let's see if you can see it, but yeah. But in any case, I got out of it. You see right there, 1,500 shares, 20 seconds. Yeah, like 700 shares left. I end up covering there at 58, and I'm up $72,000 on a day. So in any case, you guys see the trade there, guys. Shorting that pop, the first big move, the big dump. Going short there off of this top tick, going short, going for the bounce, and then shorting the bounce. All it really is, you got the big move, first big move up, first big move down. You got the first bounce, and then you got the fade off that first bounce, and you know the bouncing ball effect. That's all it really is, guys. That's what I'm trying to show you guys. And live trading example, showing you guys how I made $72,000. End up finishing the day up $83,600. Unbelievable action. As always, guys, if you guys like this video, give me a thumbs up, give me a like, subscribe, leave a comment down below. Did you guys bank on CHK? Did you guys bank on IMRN today? Again, please show some support. More live trading videos coming your way, guys. If you guys want to see more awesome content, let me know. Let me know what kind of content you guys want to see. And as always, if you guys want to listen to my live commentary, I'm in madazmoney.com trading community live every single day, talking, calling out my trades, analysis every single day. Feel free to join me there, madazmoney.com. Other than that, guys, we'll see you guys next time. This is Madaz signing out.